All right, so what I'm doing today is covering up the lens. Um, I'm sharing some of the things that I have in abundance. And so I've been donated some of these things, or some of these things I've acquired over the years, and then I've acquired things to replace them. But I just kept on to the old ones because, well, what if the new thing breaks? What if I like it better? But you know what? There's certain times that we just need to let go of things. And so I'm just going to kind of talk about on some of the stuff here. And I'm not great about the videography. I don't have a selfie stick or anything, but so these are just items that if a person who's experiencing homelessness um, could have a wish list on Amazon for, these might be included. Okay, so um, I've done a lot of research and experience of homelessness, and these things are things that can help people. You know, I mean, giving the local mission $5 supports a corporation that has a lot of operating expenses. When we give our time right to people, um, we can really find a benefit, you know? So from that benefit, we we help people. You know, I mean, why is people the only species on the planet that pay to exist perpetually? You know, I've been talking with the homeless for quite some time, and one of my friends, I said, "Well, what do you? I mean, you know, what has made you homeless?" He says, "Homeless." He says, "I'm house free." He says, I've got the freedom that most people don't even have. He says, "I got $10 in my pocket, and I'm richer than most every American in on most yeah or shit most everybody. Most everybody is living in debt, so they're living at a negative." He says, "You know," he says, "if I want to go to Oregon, I pack up my backpack and I go sweep that guy's parking lot at the grocery store, the little private grocery store there, and he gives me $20. And then I go down the street and I do it again, and I rake up some leaves, and I earn enough money, I get my bus ticket, and I go to Oregon. And then I've learned what you can eat from the land, and so, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of food banks and stuff. I mean, I appreciate people doing that, but man, there's a lot of shit food at those food banks. You know, I mean, I'd really much rather be eating morel mushrooms right from the land, and berries, and I mean, the fruits of the land are bountiful. So anyway, I don't consider myself homeless. I consider myself houseless. So I was like, wow, that's a perspective to hold. And he says, you know, some of us aren't on the streets because we have to be. Some of us are on the streets or out in the woods because we want to be. We're tired of the bullshit of trying to pay $700 or $1,000 a month for a box to live in, where I get to go out, I get to hang out next to the river all day, or I go walking around, I hang out with the deer, I hang out with the ducks. I get to experience life where other people are just trying to make a living. So I was like, wow, man, that's pretty powerful. So anyway, let's get to the point of this video here about, you know what, that has to go a little bit farther. I'm not done yet. So another one of my friends, he says, you know, there's some people on the streets that feel like they have to be here because they've been kicked out of their houses because they couldn't afford the $700 a month, or their mom and dad, they didn't like that they sometimes inhaled a plant that was different than the tobacco plant that they inhale, and so they kick them out of their basement. They won't even let them have a spot in the basement. You know, they'll keep Christmas decorations for 30 years, but they won't let their child take up a little bit of space in the basement to have a warm place to sleep. What kind of sickness are we living in when we allow our children to fail because of struggle? Animals don't struggle. The people are struggling because of greed. So anyway, this is something that I put together. One of my buddies that lives on the streets to help those. He's a warrior. He doesn't have to live there. He's smart. He works hard. But he wants to do it because he helps people. So anyway, we got a mummy bag. We got a couple of BDU pants. You know, there's like little things wrong with them. So I mean, you get them for like 25 cents at the yard sale. And you know what? That pocket, people know how to sew. And this repair will be done in a matter of 5 minutes while you're sitting at your fire, right? So what we're expecting as a society isn't what people need. You know, we have these wants. So there's a sleep garment. Here's a little blanket, a bag that a few things can fit in. To kind of localize, maybe you have your stuff to go to the shower or something in that. So got a hoodie, a bandana for the corona, and another bandana, and a pair of jeans that I'm pretty sure will fit him. If not, he'll hand them off to the next smaller person than him that he meets. Got a headlight, and we got another little flashlight, and we got a couple extra batteries. A little bit of parachute cord, a few zip ties. You know, maybe there's a couple items that he'd like to carry around. You know, just make a set of keys available, because you know, I mean, sometimes we have storage lockers or something like that. Sharpie, a little pocket knife, some warm gloves, some work gloves, another little pouch. You know, something handy. Old pill bottle. This is like for a laxative, so helps get the shit out, right? So I labeled it Q-tips and duct tape because I wrapped the duct tape around the container several times, and so that way you have a little bit of duct tape available when you, but it also doesn't take up any space. And so then Q-tips are really handy, and you think, God, that'd be like a year's supply for somebody, right? Or a 6-month supply. Yeah, if you were keeping them all to yourself, but people on the streets don't keep everything to themselves. They realize that there's things that come and things that go, and whoever needs it most should get it, you know? And so this is a pretty badass backpack. I mean, it looks old, and I mean, a lot of people would just throw it away, but it's a suspension pack frame, and so you can basically load up everything you own. I lived for years out of basically a backpack, and I loved my life. It was so free. I got to travel, I got to go see the world, and when I have this big ass house now, I don't get to go as many places because there's property taxes to pay. Because if I don't pay the property taxes, men with guns will come and kick me off my property, right? Because I built this house with my bare hands. I've shaped this land with my bare hands. I paid for it with my labor, but yet there's an organization that everybody's still supporting, that if I don't pay them their extortion demands every year, they will come and kick me off my property. And if I refuse, they will kill me. That's what we're supporting in America. That's what we're supporting with globalism. That's what we're supporting with centralized authority. Anyway, homelessness is a real strong issue to me, because a lot of people look at homeless people as outcasts from society. And they are. Just in the impressions of those who pay to play.